Welcome in to Friday Night Hits, Week 3 already. I'm Mark Whiteman. Thanks as always for tuning in. Few teams more surprising in the season's opening weeks than Boiling Springs under second-year head coach Matt Reel. The Bulldogs with as many wins already this year, too, as they had all of last year. But few teams in the state hotter than Hillcrest. It was our Sparrow Financial Game of the Week. Chase Justice has all the highlights.
Our Week 3 Game of the Week, a grudge match between two of the top 5A schools that the state of South Carolina has to offer, as the Hillcrest Rams play host to the Boiling Springs Bulldogs. Hillcrest enters tonight's matchup ranked as the number 5 team in all of 5A, while Boiling Springs sits right outside the top 10. We'll get things started in the first quarter, still 0-0, 4th and 2 for the Rams, who dial up the direct snap to who other than All-State wide receiver Avery McFadden. McFadden puts on the Jets to put the Rams up by a score of 7-0. Fast forward to the second quarter, following a turnover on downs, Lincoln Husky winds up and unloads deep down the middle to a streaking Tristan Horsey Johnson for the score. Extra point attempt is no good. Boiling Springs pulls within 1 by a score of 7-6. After a quick Rams touchdown to open up the second half, Hillcrest up 14-6 late in the fourth quarter, trying to put this game on ice. And how about a dump off to one of the most dangerous receivers in the upstate? McFadden takes this one 20 yards to the Big Red House. McFadden's third touchdown of the night. Hillcrest edged out Boiling Springs by a final score of 21-6.
Everything was far from perfect. We got a lot of stuff to clean up on offense, but my message to them is, as long as we keep playing hard, having one of those back, we're gonna be in good shape.
The Hillcrest Rams will look to stay perfect at home as they prepare to play host to Powdersville, while the Boiling Springs Bulldogs will look to regroup against Greer. Reporting in Simpsonville, Chase Justice, WIFF News 4 Sports.
Chase, thank you. Abbeville shined with the heart of a champion in each of the past 2 weeks, both one-point wins to remain unbeaten. The reigning 2A champs welcoming a confident West Side bunch coming off a big win over TL Hanna last week. It's all Rams right here, leading 28-6 in the third quarter, and good things continue to happen for them. Cutter Woods to Josh Williams, dude's a freight train, 60 yards for the West Side Tutty. Now up 35-6. Abbeville, however, they would find some daylight as they often do. Carson Norman cutting it back and cutting into the West Side lead. But still, it is a 35-13 Rams lead, and West Side showing no signs of slowing down. Woods going to find Jay McClintock in the end zone right there as West Side rolls into Abbeville and beats the Panthers 48-13. Jailmen have not started 4-0 since 1996. Could change that tonight against Easley, who won this meeting a year ago. Patriots have a 14-0 lead. Ethan Anderson, quick hitter to his guy, Michael McClellan, puts the Patriots up 21-0. And yeah, the mascot, he's fired up about it. More from man, a little pop pass to Keyshawn Henderson, bouncing it outside, around the outside. He hits the turbo, 35 yards, another Patriots score. Easley would show some fight, continuing to try and battle back in this game. Matthew Hillstock punches it in from down and close. But how about these Patriots? 17 years since they've been 4-0, but not anymore. 49-13, JL Man. Patriots marching on. TL Hanna Yellow Jackets in the eye of the storm, hosting the Hurricanes of Wren, leading 14-7 at halftime. Those Hurricanes were, but here comes Hanna. Josh Donald plunges in from 4 yards out that ties the game up at 14, and on Wren's ensuing drive, that gets ended by Hanna's Tegan Cole coming up with the interception. That sets up TL Hanna's Katie Patterson. He's going to punch in the go-ahead score on the other end of the field, 21-14. The Jackets piled on late. They win 35-23. Let's show you a couple scores tonight. Daniel beating Hart County 52-21. Gaffney over Mallard Creek 24-7. Broome all over Union County 62-34, and Chapman beating Lawrence 48-3. For the second year running, state title contender Greenville slow out of the gate. The Red Raiders were 0-3 last season before winning 10 in a row, hoping this year follows a similar track after a 1-2 start. Malden Mavericks coming to Serene. They hung tough last Friday, still seeking that first win, and a great start for the Mavs in this game. First drive, 3rd and long. Jackson Vickers going longer. Patrick Murphy, absolutely baller, one-handed basket catch. Malden unable to turn that into points, however. Greenville ball now. Bryson Drummond. They forgot about Dre. Dre Huff in for 6. Next drive, Malden trying to keep on moving. Vickers is going to be picked off by Romani Bruton, and he's taking it back for the Greenville defensive touchdown. Red Raiders keep rolling 52-7. Burns bounced Greenville last week at Greer tonight. Sky Force circling opening minutes. Rebels with the ball. They keep giving it to Trey Segarra, and he keeps doing things like this. The freshman just piling up touchdowns. He'll have another right there as Burns strikes first. But check out the response by Greer. Caden Rowland to Tykorian Gist turns on the burners. That is a 58-yard Yellow Jackets score. They missed the extra point, though, so the Rebels still in front. Same score, 7-6. Andrew Stevens hits Segarra in the flat. Spin move. They'll have another. Rebels run away from Greer, 49-13, the final. Never mess with Vikings, a good life policy, and one Spartanburg's enforced in the season's opening weeks with a stingy defense allowing less than 12 points per game. Vikes at home getting Grayson, a Peach State powerhouse. Spartanburg led 16-9 in the third quarter, but that's Grayson's J.D. Davis connecting with Kylan Fox for the Grayson score. They missed the extra point, so the Vikes hanging on to a 1-point lead. Spartanburg drives the field, can punch it in. They kick the field goal, 19-15 Vikings now, but into the fourth quarter, Grayson's on the goal line going on fourth down. Adrian Falson, he's in for the go-ahead score. That's how the score would stay. Grayson goes to Spartanburg and beats the Vikings 21-19. The Berea Bulldogs over at Wade Hampton. Berea with a 10-7 lead in the second. Giddy up, Generals on the goal line. Jack Stepp sprinting on in, pushing Wade Hampton in front 14-10. Berea backed up, 3rd and 20. And check out the magic right here by Amaze Robinson. Finds Destin Eichelberger. Big gain for Berea, but that keeps the sticks moving. However, Wade Hampton goes on to get the 35-13 win. All right, let's check back in on the scoreboards. Fountain Inn beating Carolina at home 26-6. That is the first home win in program history for the Fury. Eastside beating Blue Ridge 54-40. Liberty all over Dixie tonight, 48-34. And Landrum beating Polk County in a border battle, 47-21. We're taking a quick timeout. Plenty of action still to come on the other side of the break. Stay with us. You're watching Friday Night Hits.